Let's design and sculpt a clay frame. You'll need air-dry clay, a paper and pencil, a ruler, scissors, tape or glue, markers, and thin cardboard. I'm using the back of an old sketchbook, but you can use a cereal box or something else. First, let's make the frame. I want the sides of my frame to each be 1 inch by 5 inches. I'm marking every inch on the top and bottom of my cardboard and then drawing a line to connect. Then I'll mark 5 inches for the length, draw a line, and cut out my rectangles using the scissors. With your 4 rectangles, arrange them into the shape of a square, overlapping the corners. Using an adhesive like glue or tape, secure all the corners and edges. Before jumping ahead to clay, think about your design. You can trace around your frame on the paper and then sketch in the inside how you want it to look. What kind of design will you make? It could be geometric with patterns and shapes, inspired by nature, or anything else. Using your sketch as a guide, select your colors. Break your clay into pieces for each color and then dye your clay using the markers. I like to flatten the clay first, color it, and then fold before mixing. This prevents ink from getting on my hands. You may have to repeat this dyeing process a few times to get the colors as bright as you want them. Flatten, color, fold, squish, repeat. Now that you've got your colors ready, you can start applying them to the frame. I'm looking at my sketch to see where the colors go, and then squishing my clay to the frame. Depending on what you've sketched, you may want to try different sculpting techniques. You can flatten it, roll snakes or coils, sculpt separately and then attach later. And don't worry about glue, as long as you squish it, it will stick. My design has a lot of squiggly stripes, so I'm rolling coils and then squishing them down. I'm also careful to fold my clay around to the back of the frame so that all my edges look nice. I wanted my frame to be extra groovy in style, so now that I've got all these squiggles done, I'm going to sculpt some flowers to put on. For these flowers, I'm just rolling up little balls for the petals and then squishing them together in the shape of a flower. Once you're done decorating your frame, let the clay dry as recommended on the packaging, about 24 hours. And that's it! Now I have a functional piece of art that can be used to display photos or other artworks. A good finishing touch would be to add magnets to the back so you can hang it on your fridge. Here's some examples my students made to inspire you. Thanks for making art with me today!